But look, I want to talk about the social media, and this is really interesting because shoplifting is an offence. It's illegal. It's against the law, and, taking what's not yours. But traders are turning to social media to expose and shame shoplifters. So the Advertiser has reported, and it's certainly come from the Courier Messenger as well, that in the past fortnight, boutiques, and there have been a number that have named themselves, allege they've got stolen clothing from their stores. They've got the photographic evidence to prove it, or the video evidence, so they're putting it online. Now, a young woman can be seen stuffing clothing into her handbag at a store in North Adelaide, and the basic... The tenet of what was put up on the internet was, if this is you, please return our garments. Our store is on 24-hour surveillance and will be forced to use this footage if and when necessary. Well, obviously, the fact that they've put it up, it is being used. But I thought we would get some opinion on this today from the law firm Tyndall, Gask & Bentley, Rachel Shaw. Rachel, thank you for coming on today and giving us the wisdom of your legal experience. What's the legal position here? Let's say you run a business. Somebody steals from you. It shows a person doing that. Where do you stand legally taking that footage and putting it up on the internet?
Well, Leon, the legal issues that would arise is whether the person who appears on the footage has any claim in defamation. So in order to have a defamation claim, material has to be published about you to somebody else. Then the material has to identify you, or doesn't necessarily mean your name, but characteristics that could help identify you.
Yep.
And then the material has to be defamatory, so expose you to some sort of ridicule or contempt or lower people's reputation. So in this case, clearly publishing material about somebody on the internet that shows them stealing would be defamatory. But the next question is, well, is there a defence for the shop owners? And if it's true, and if it can be proven that the person did steal this from the store, then there is a defence to any sort of defamation claim that could ever be raised.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case, because I understand that if truth is there and you can prove it's true, then that's the defence. So if you've got somebody that resembles somebody that's taking something and stuffing it in their bag and then walking through the checkout and not paying, isn't that what you lawyers call prima facie? Isn't that reasonable proof that they've actually broken the law?
That's right. I mean, that would obviously have to be tested in a court of law.
Sure.
So I can't say whether it would be successful, but presumably if there is evidence there that can show that this existed and that there may be other records besides the video footage which would prove the theft, then that would be a complete defence to any defamation. Well,
Rachel, the other reason I ask you this is because, there's a story today we're discussing now about putting stuff on the net. And, and I feel terribly sorry for people who run businesses who put their savings and sometimes house on the market to just run a business and try and make a buck and have people steal from them. And a lot of the shops, of course, theft is a big issue. But on the current affairs shows, you will often see segments, and you will have seen them, where cop this clever person or persons, where you might have a number of people who even use children to take things that they don't intend to pay for, and they stuff them somewhere, and the cameras show this, and they walk out. So presumably the telecasting of this on a mainstream TV channel is the same issue, is it?
That's right. I mean, anyone who republishes something, which is the major problem with sort of social media or an issue that arises, is it's shared, it's sent in emails, it's forwarded around, and every person who takes part in that sharing is potentially liable. And so, I mean, I obviously sympathise with shop owners here. I'm not in any way suggesting that they should be sued for defamation at all. But there just has to be, I guess, a bit of awareness about people, particularly on social media, commenting. I mean, for example, if somebody was to post a comment under a video which said, oh, I know who that person is, that's so-and-so, and he lives on this road, that would obviously create some huge problems, particularly if that's not the person.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's so really you'd hope that people didn't put a comment, or if they did, it's me, and I won't identify myself, but I'll bring the goods back today. That's the kind of thing you're wanting, isn't it?
That's right. I mean, ultimately, it should be the police that are investigating this, and I'm sure that the police would say, you know, we'd like to see this footage, and we can assist. But I understand shop owners' frustration. It's just the danger of social media. Some people, unfortunately, take social media to the extreme and abuse it.
So really, you need to make sure you have your facts when you want to do something like that.
Oh, definitely. You can't be accusing people of things that they haven't done, or you'll open yourself up to a potential court action. Okay,
now my question is this. Do you know of any precedent where a person committing a crime or an offence has been videoed or photographed or whatever doing it, and they've actually had it put somewhere and gone for defamation? Has that happened? Do you know?
No, I mean, I can't imagine how it could be.
Well, you'd like to think that, but, you know, and this is a different scenario, but we've heard of cases where a person enters somebody's property unannounced, obviously at some ungodly hour, and they slip over, and then they sue the person for damages because, you know, they're in that's a different situation again. But I just wondered whether there was a precedent of somebody saying, well, you're defaming me by putting this stuff up there, I'm going to sue you. So from your point of view, this hasn't happened.
No, and mainly because I come back to this defence of truth. I mean, if there's any truth in what's being alleged, and the imputations that arise from the publication are true or even partially true, then the person does not have an action against that for defamation.
All right, Rachel Shaw, thank you. That's a lawyer from Tyndall, Gaskin, Bentley, just clarifying what happens.